Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. And this is late night with Lumberjack Cracks bringing to you a game that I intended to stream a very long time ago, back when I had streamed the other companion game to it, Mario Golf, in Japanese. Mario Golf 64, Mario Tennis. Which is probably like Mario Tennis 64. So yeah, I'm playing the Japanese version. Also notably, this is the first appearance by the Camelot created Waluigi, who is from what Wario actually means is Wa in Japanese means bad. So it's a pun for Wario to be Wario, so it's bad Mario. So Wa Luigi is bad Luigi. So Waluigi's first appearance is in this game, and then to be followed up by his appearance in Mario Party 3. But yeah, we got a good look at him right now. What is up, Glenn Gamer, aka Jamie? I'm glad to see you're awake. I don't know many of people that are going to be expecting me to be streaming right now, randomly at 3 in the morning on a Sunday night. But, you know, whatever. I was out at the pub, aka the bar, and I thought I would come back and stream. Wow, that is a very crude looking Bowser. He does look like he's prepared to play some tennis, though, in comparison to his model in Mario 64. So, looks good to me. New NHL 07 episode out soon. Big game versus the New Jersey Devils. I play as the New York Rangers, by the way, in the series. Sweet. That sounds pretty cool. Everybody is cheering together. A bomb blows up. And now we all play tennis together. Alright. 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player. Just like in Mario Kart. It's all in Japanese, so I don't really know what it's going to say. But I'm just going to make assumptions. I bought the Japanese version of these games, honestly, because they're about $10 to $20 cheaper than the American versions, and being able to play these games is basically just breaking some plastic inside the system. So that's what I did. That's why we got it. Also, we have the final appearance from Donkey Kong Jr. in this game, who Donkey Kong Jr. in the canon is actually this Donkey Kong. This Donkey Kong is a grown-up version of this Donkey Kong. But then Baby Mario is just a young version of regular Mario. So, guess it's not that unusual. But, yeah, this is the last time you'll ever see this little boy. So, what we'll do, since this is Waluigi's first appearance in a game. Oh, I can't pick who I'm going to play against. We'll play as Waluigi. And then, after that, we will play against Donkey Kong Jr. in one set game. Oh, I guess I can pick. So we're going to play against Donkey Kong Jr., the newcomer, versus their final appearance. First match. Sounds good to me. Jagger, Shanahan, Luke, the Rangers had a good team. Yeah, I mean, Jagger and Shanahan, those are the two I can recognize from hockey, and I don't know all that much about hockey, so sounds like a pretty good team. I don't know much about these courts that are here. It looks like the cartridge that I had purchased has pretty much everything unlocked. I think you had to unlock things in this game. It's usually how these sports games went. Since it's all in Japanese, I don't know anything. So we're just going to play on a standard court. This is what happens when you go to the pub. Waluigi goose stepping out for his debut appearance against Donkey Kong Jr. hopefully we can take him down and show that little boy that we're going to take his spot for the rest of eternity. So if you're not familiar with the Donkey Kong lore, the old Donkey Kong from the original Donkey Kong games is supposed to be Cranky Kong, and Donkey Kong Jr., who I'm playing against, is actually the Donkey Kong that we all know now. I don't know if it's still like the commonly accepted version of the lore from Nintendo, but I'm pretty sure it is. And Donkey Kong Jr. is dead. He's not a very good character, in my opinion. I mean, Diddy Kong has way more personality than he does. But, I mean, Diddy Kong kind of just represents an entire generation. Diddy Kong is just, like, literally the 90s comeback of Sonic. You know, it's Nintendo like, hey, look at this hip-ass monkey we got. He's got a hat. When he gets angry, he stomps on it. Bam. Don't you see how good the Super Nintendo is? Don't buy that PlayStation. Game Waluigi, we're up. Debut appearance, looking good. I'm playing my childhood version, which is a PlayStation 2. NHL 07, you played on PlayStation 2? Wow. I mean, I was in a similar boat in 07. I was still playing on PlayStation 2. The oldest PlayStation 2 game that I had purchased, like the latest one, I mean, so the newest PlayStation 2 version, or game I had purchased, was Tony Hawk Project 8. And, you know, so there was the second version that had a simultaneous release with the modern generation, which that being was American Wasteland. And Project 8 definitely suffered from that cross generation thing. I would say American Wasteland did not. The seamless from area to area was tacked on in American Wasteland. Like, you're clearly going through like hallways that is loading the next area in both of those games, so it's not really lost there. Oh shit, Donkey Kong Jr. coming back in the middle of my Tony Hawk rant. Back to Deuce. Deuce. We're not gonna let this boy take it from us. No. Oh shit, yeah we are. Because we don't know how to hit the ball in bounds. Oof. Good hit. After this, I think I'm gonna play a tournament. And I'm gonna go with my typical my Yoshi pick. Because I was a Yoshi boy. NHL games have such good soundtracks. The one that I played was 06, and I don't really actually remember what was in the soundtrack for 06. I remember liking the 01, the original on PlayStation 2 soundtrack. The Madden soundtracks and MVP 2005 stick out in my head more than the NHL ones. So we took our win over Donkey Kong Jr. So we're going to try to play a tournament with, you know what? Jesus, Boo looks freaky in this one. Bowser just looks awful. Shy Guy is one of my favorite competitors. I might go with him. Paratroopa is not. If it was a regular Koopa, I think I might have picked them. But yeah. Birdo's kind of tired looking. Toad's definitely wearing the wrong outfit. He's not showing any chest, which makes me feel awkward. It's a good looking Daisy. It's not the earliest appearance of Daisy, but it's an early reminder of Daisy. Daisy, of course, coming from Mario Land. Alright, so we're going to go with Shy Guy. Why? Because I like Shy Guy. So we're going to go to a tournament. Maybe we should do it. Nah. We'll do a singles tournament. And we'll see where it goes. And then we'll play a doubles tournament after this. If I like it. Teddy Belcher, 4K Ultra Wide, 21:9 says Waluigi. This is his game. This is where he comes from. If you wonder why Waluigi's not in Smash, he says he's not really a Nintendo-made character. He is a Camelot-made character for Mario sports games. So that's why. He doesn't deserve it. He's just assist trophy material. If he shows up in Character Pass 2 or Fighter Pass 2 for Smash Ultimate, I won't be upset. But really, I'm not upset that he's not involved. He would just be another fighter that honestly I probably would have not much interest in playing as, so yeah. That's how I feel about that. Oh, ace serve there from Paratroopa. Not prepared for his skill. Again. Oh my god. Gonna have to... There we go. There we go! Teddy Belcher said I had virtual tennis on Game Boy VR, aka the Virtual Boy. Beat it and owned it and beat it. That's awesome. Yeah, so I mean that's the origin of Mario Tennis. Is on Virtual Boy. Notably a possessive Mario's Tennis. And then this game in America is called Mario Tennis. In Japan, this game is called Mario Tennis 64. So, as far as America's concerned, this was the first Mario Tennis game. But that's awesome. I've actually still never played a Virtual Boy. I've seen gameplay of the Virtual Boy. A notable game journalist slash YouTuber slash podcaster, Jeremy Parrish, has played through the entire library of the Virtual Boy and has done very in-depth videos explaining the way that the games play and historical information along with that. It's something definitely worth checking out. Jeremy Parrish on YouTube. You will also be able to find him through Virtual Boy Works, or if you type in Toasty Frog into... I took the game against Paratroopa from serving from the opposite court. I guess they're making me play the best 3 of 5. He's really just tall Luigi with different overalls. Oh god. NHL 2002 had 2 Sum 41 songs, and 2003 had She Loves Me Not by Papa Roach. Can dig both of those, so I can see that. Teddy Belcher knows his videos. He's seen them all. Chronological order reviews of launch years. Yeah. He is definitely one of my favorites to follow. I had been inspired to somewhat simulate that for sports games, and just have not found the time to do that as well. So we'll see. We'll see if that ever happens. Unsub any channels pushing vintage Capcom. What's wrong with vintage Capcom? I mean, how vintage are we talking? Are we talking like they're... Match point here. And I took it. I took it for myself. Wow. I'm drinking what I was drinking last time on a Lumberjack Cracks episode. Wind Waker Part 2. A Virtue Cherry Cider. Very good. Nice and tart. If any of you want to watch me play non-sports games, I'm doing that on the Lumberjack Cracks channel. I'm currently going through Wind Waker Zelda. And it's good. It's a great game. Been going through it kind of slowly, starting to realize that drinking, playing, and talking to people, trying to keep up the chat is hard to actually solve puzzles with. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. I'm definitely going to start something new in between that, but I did do at least up to beating Bowser in Mario 64. We'll eventually clean up and get all 120 stars. Go see my boy up on the roof. The library is exhausted. Acclaim games. Those were both unrelated thoughts. I mean, early Capcom games... Like the one that I think of is like 1943 or whatever. It's just a shmup. I'm not really big into shmups. So I can understand that feeling. Blasting that bomb, boy. So an interesting thing that this game does that I don't think the other Mario Tennis games does is it has a reference to the original tennis on NES, where Mario is the referee. And, so Mario's sitting up in the referee slot, and if you look at him closely, he's actually wearing a blue blazer and not his overalls. He's wearing like a referee outfit. I'm blasting. Wizards and Warriors was the first game I chose at a store and took home. Hudson's Adventure Island. Wizards and Warriors. So that was like that American RPG game. And I specifically say American RPG game because those games function a lot differently than Japanese RPG games. And then Adventure Island, that American-made game. No, I'm thinking of Star Tropics. What game is Adventure Island? I'm remembering. Here in Belfast won and got NHL or NBA. Oh. Gotta beat Daisy, baby. Slammed it in there. Tying it up. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If you don't see merchandise of a thing that you enjoy, I don't see why you wouldn't pick up like NHL or NBA stuff. I imagine most of the sports memorabilia is going to be localized things and mostly focusing on soccer. It's like a collector's item to find any American memorabilia out there. I mean, here we can like literally go to a department store and find whatever the local hometown team is and whatever the most popular, most high-selling merchandise teams are at those stores. Or you can go to like lids for hats of any team in the nation, which is cool. I personally, when I went to Toronto, like almost 4 years ago at this point. I went to go look for a retro Raptors jersey because I like the retro jerseys, or even t-shirts or hats or whatever. And I didn't see any in any of the stores that I was looking in. I was kind of disappointed by that. I wanted to see the purple. Wanted to see the actual Raptor on the shirt. Got none of it. Sad. Sad day for me. Oh shit. Damn it. Shy Guy not doing it for me right now. His little stubby arms aren't enough. Almost didn't return that one after taking a drink. I will read the future comments in a second. Popped it off to the side. Take advantage. Let's drive this match point home. Got Daisy. Game, set, match. We're moving on to the finals, baby. Teddy Belcher says, my brother's always only got good ending on Simon's Quest. He knew the path. Yeah, that's impressive. I still have not, even though I love the NES Castlevania games and the original Castlevania is my favorite, I still have not tried to actually go through Simon's Quest and beat it myself. I've seen it beaten on YouTube, but man, there's just so much that you need to do and understand, and way too much grinding for me to actually care. Teddy Belcher says Fabio was on the Wizards 2 cover. Oh, Fabio was on Wizards 2. Oh, gotcha. That's really weird. I feel like I kind of remember that, but you know, Fabio's the shit, man. Jamie says, I found NBA hats in a store 3 months ago and picked up a Lakers one. Would have gotten a Knicks one, but it's the Knicks. Yeah, I don't blame you there. Never been much of a Knicks fan myself. Oh, yeah. My favorite Knick is still Jeremy Lin. That's all I got to say for you. Teddy Belcher says, hats are obsolete. I wear a headscarf or a garter or do-rag. Hats just fall off. I don't know about that. I don't know if baseball caps fall off. Ooh, we're going on to play Luigi in the finals. This guy trying to defend his honor because he's got an imposter here in this game. Waluigi. Teddy Belcher says it took Chicago 3 years to rewrite the 1990 World Series to desecrate the Reeds for the beating of Shoeless Joe. Legit? What? What are you talking about? I don't remember that. I remember the Billy Goat thing. If you drive down Ogden Avenue here in Chicago, you will pass Billy Goat's Tavern, which the owner took a Billy Goat into the World Series and got kicked out for bringing in the goat. And he put the curse on the Cubs, and it took them over 100 years to win. I don't know all about that. What I do know about is I was gonna say the Bears, but I don't know anything about the Bears. So an interesting thing about the ball in these replays, it's actually just an image. And I'm pretty sure the ball in the gameplay is actually a sprite, just scaling back and forth. So I think it has like an animation cycle of a tennis ball spinning. And it's just shrunk down to a very small size. Look at it. You see that? Crazy. It's interesting where they chose to use 3D and where not to use 3D. Another interesting thing, probably for me. No, it's interesting for everybody. Because I was remembering it incorrectly, but this is a nice use of Lakitu from Mario 64 trying to be a cameraman, but the one that's clearly on the line does not have a camera. And the ones like in the corner of the map you can totally see have a camera. So they're like, Nintendo's trying, and I know Camelot developed this, but Nintendo's like trying to create a rational reason why the cameras exist in these games. And it's kind of cool. But like, look at the Lakitu that's facing Shy Guy right now, showing him this close-up, bouncing the ball. And then suddenly he just disappears. Should see him fly away if you're going to do all that shit, but whatever. Yes, the Cubs did win in 2016. I actually was outside of Wrigley Field when they won, when they were not playing here. They were playing in Cleveland. And, it was one of the most fascinating experiences I had ever seen. I literally got out of work and went with a couple of coworkers down to the field. Or trying to get near the field. Oh, shit. Oh, well. Trying to get near the field. And just kind of observing the game from afar. Not able to go in any bars because bars were taking cover charges like upwards of like $100, probably more. I guess upwards means that, but whatever. So watching from the outside, literally hearing the TV signal go down the street because of people cheering from an event, and you can hear it like a second off. Just such a fascinating experience. Then watching a huge mob of people tear down police barriers, work their way to the stadium, and throw firecrackers above the top of people's heads. Champagne bottles just being randomly popped open for the next, like, 2 hours that I was there. Such an insane experience. What's up, Adam? Shit. Luigi's being a dick. Got him. Seems like every time I pay attention and I take that shot, the computer's never ready for it. Fuck. Alright, Luigi. You're really pissing me off. Game Luigi. I can't believe I let this shit happen. Teddy Belcher says, my brother said greedy Blackhawks fans don't deserve more championships. That's probably true. I mean, I never really cared when the Blackhawks won. I've never really been a Blackhawks fan. And I've always been a troll and said that my favorite team is the Red Wings to make fun of my cousin Slapshot Sean. So, not make fun, but, you know, antagonize. Whatever. Teddy Belcher. No. Jamie says, I played Sega Superstar Tennis. It's a pretty fun game. I don't know if I've actually played Sega Superstar Tennis. I've played Top Spin, and I've played Virtua Tennis. Is the Sega Superstar one, is that the Sonic game? It's basically just a Mario Tennis with Sonic and all the other characters. I don't remember if that's on Wii or if it's on Wii U. It sounds like a Wii game. A lot of things just came out on the Wii. Weird stuff because it was just such a well-selling console. Adam just says Tekken Bowl. Are we watching Evo or something? What's going on? Isn't Evo in the summer? Getting fucking worked by Luigi. Ooh, a power shot. Took that one from him. Got Sonic characters, but loads of others. Yeah, that's a game I should check out. What system is that on? I'm sure it was a game that I was interested in. I had always been interested in mascot sports games. Just because they play more arcadey, and that's honestly where I like sports. Arcade. Thank you, old nerd, playing old PC games. If you guys have not checked out his channel, he plays through old PC games, one level at a time, just to experience some nostalgia. Should check him out, subscribe. Cool channel. Always drops a like for us, showing some love for him. Oh, Tekken Bowling, that's what you said. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. That is something that I want to do in a video. Is find sports and non-sports games. Tekken Bowling is a fascinating one on that front. Fuck! I'm losing it! It's a 360 PS3 era. I think it's on Wii as well. I grew up with the 360 version. Yeah, it probably came out on Wii as well. It sounds like it was conceptually made as a Wii game and then came out on the others. Second set. Oh, fuck. The tournament makes you play 3 sets. I mean, I'm fine with Luigi beating me at this point. Alright. We're gonna play it out this way, just because that's what I've been dealt. Apologize if you don't find Shy Guy playing Luigi in tennis very exciting. That's what we gotta do. Maybe I'll come back and win this one. Oh! Got him. Finally got him. Luigi is fast, especially after he scores a point. He like runs significantly faster than what he could on the actual court. It's kind of weird. Ugh. Every time I try to adjust the ball in that direction, I get game point. Hey ho! I just realized that Shy Guy's name is Hey Ho in Japanese. That's pretty funny. Hey ho! Well, I guess that was a good reason to play a Shy Guy then, huh? Got to learn his name was Hey Ho. It took me all the way until the second set in the finals here, but, you know, whatever. Adam says, Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground 2. Yeah, those are, the Tony Hawk Underground I really want to play again. I want to play through the entire season mode. In your opinion, Adam, as a long avid viewer, would you think that would be more fitting for a Lumberjack Cracks channel stream or a Retro Sports Gamer channel stream? Want to know what you think? I have a lot of passion and love for Tony Hawk Underground, but I feel like it would be kind of weird to play through the entire game here on the Retro Sports Gamer channel, clouding up the late night with Lumberjack Cracks playlist with just one game. The game that I actually played on this with this series the most was Tecmo Bowl, when I went through an entire season in that. You guys didn't watch that? I did it. It was fun. The interesting part about that is I am not super good at these games like a lot of the other people on this channel. And, so you never really know when I'm going to win and when I'm going to lose. So, fantastic. Now, Mario Tennis is a little bit different because I'm actually pretty decent at tennis games. And one of the things about tennis games and playing and talking is you can kind of just fall into a groove and not really notice when you're losing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I need to actually score a point on these fuckers. That was my fault. Yes, this is on the N64 if you're referring to Mario Tennis. It came out in America and in Europe. In Japan, I am just playing the Japanese version of the game because it is cheaper to buy. If you're talking about Tony Hawk Underground, definitely not on N64. Oh yeah, slapping it in there. Luigi's touch is maddening for me right now. Adam says on the retro channel, but Tom would get mad. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I haven't done it yet is I don't really know where I should do it. And it's just like a lot of content that's the same. And I don't know how much people would actually be interested in watching me play through the entire story mode of that game, but when when it came out, it connected with me so well, and I loved the hell out of it, and I would love to play through it. Championship point! Oh boy. What a bold claim. Got him. Got him the way that I pretty much always got him. Was just a little off to the side. Beautiful. Shy Guy. Nah, the greatest of all time. Here on the Retro Sports Gamer channel. Live. Great. Thank you. I feel like I actually earned that one because I lost the one set. It didn't feel like a complete cakewalk. But I'm just generally kind of good at tennis games. If my brother is watching this far into the video, if he decided to click on to see how I was doing, he would be like, "No, you can't beat me at sport games or tennis games." But I could beat him at tennis games. Virtual tennis, no problem. Take him down, no problem. Any day of the week, Tom. You get me. You can watch me beat him on the channel. So I ain't scared. What's going on here? What is this? Why are they doing this? I don't want to play another tournament. What the fuck happened? This is what happens when you play games in Japanese and you can't read what's going on. Did I click replay? What do these even mean? Save and quit, I'm assuming this means. Yup. Save that with... Oh, yep. This is totally what that says. Nope, it doesn't say save and quit. It just says save. Options? Nope. Controller. Ooh, yeah, I know what these moves do. Camera? Nah, we don't want that. Okay, there's got to be a way from this screen. It's probably that. Yes, back to the menu. The arrow this way. And from your perspective, it's this way. Cool. What's up, Pat? What sports games and what actual sports could you beat your brother? Tennis, I can beat him in basketball games. I could beat him in football games, too. I would say I could beat him in Showtime. I could beat him in NBA Jam. I could beat him in Hang Time. I could definitely beat him in tennis games. Definitely skateboarding games, but he probably wouldn't even count that if it wasn't for me. Ooh, You can put the star on them too? Oh, fantastic. Wow. Did this person beat the entire game and they sold it? So sad. Oh well. Well, we're gonna play as Boo, because I like how creepy Boo looks right now. I don't know what this is, but Bowser looks pretty intimidating right here, so we're gonna click on whatever the fuck this is. I know I said I was gonna play a... No. No. What? This just looks like a computer match. Whatever, we'll play against Bowser. But yeah, I could beat Tom. I'm great at stuff. So this mode looks like the one that has the Mario Kart power-ups, as you can see on screen. Adam says, it's cool to see you still doing videos for the Retro Sports Gamer channel. Of course I would. I just haven't really been streaming much lately. I mean, it's been kind of interesting starting my own channel and seeing with even the small amount of following that I have, dealing with certain personal interactions with the chat that have not been savory to my opinion, and trying to decide whether or not I want to continue doing that, because I don't really want this to be a stressful experience. So this has been quite enjoyable and changes my opinion on the whole thing, but you know, it's been interesting. That's what I'll say. But if you haven't subscribed to the Lumberjack Cracks channel, please do that. I haven't abandoned it yet. We're currently going through Zelda Wind Waker. Oh, Bowser's name is Koopa. Wow. Pat says, you ever beat Tom in real life in sports? He's a bit older, right? Huh. It's an interesting question. Nothing really sticks out in my mind. I'm sure I've beaten him indirectly. I've definitely played pickup basketball on the same court as him, and not necessarily on the same team as him, with other people, and have probably beaten him that way. But I'm sure over all the years I've beaten him at some type of sport. I just, as a younger brother and being 6 years younger than my brother, I've never really held a high weight in winning, because it was always a joy for me to win, because I was used to losing. But I'm not really much of a bragger. If you hear me shit talking on the channel, it's usually for entertainment value, and not necessarily because I need to win or I desire to win. The format that I honestly felt most competitive in was when I was playing Pokemon cards. My brother and I would play against each other all the time, and he might deny this, but I'm pretty sure I beat him more than he beat me when we would play on a personal level outside of tournaments. But we would do that to practice all the time. And honestly, it was one of the most enjoyable things that I ever did with my brother, was playing Pokemon cards with him and traveling around mostly the Midwest, but we did go to Anaheim the one year that I got in the Worlds, which was really cool. It was great. Anywho, Adam says, Bowser's serving right now. I can't read it. Adam says, so let's get this right. You can beat Tom in football games in NBA Hang Time, right? Yes, I can. I've beaten Tom at Tecmo Bowl in the past. As recent, I have not beaten him. There is definitely a video on the channel of me beating him in Tecmo Bowl. The video where I'm showing, the first time I show off getting the NES Classic and hacking it, we play Tecmo Super Bowl, and I beat him in that game on stream. That was before we started going to Demon Tap on Mondays. So it is... Sorry. And suddenly all the carbonation in my stomach wanted to start coming up. So, I don't know what the hell that was. But that was the thing that had happened. So I'm going to pick Donkey Kong Jr. in this one. And I don't want to do the rings. I don't know what this is, so let's click on it. Let's play on a different court. How about clay? Oh god. What is this? Why is Donkey Kong here? I will read the chat in a second. I'm still trying to process what's happening to me. Why does he keep charging like that? I'm just tapping the button like I had been the whole time. Do I have to confirm my hit in this mode? I don't know. This seems like an interesting way to practice, but I don't want to do this right now. Adam says, so let's get this. Oh, yeah, I read that. Can't beat a good hockey game. Checks big hits, goals, and loads of fights. So much fun. And to follow up with that, I've also beat Tom in hockey games. We've done a NHL 94 stream in the past that I've beaten him in. I think it was the first time we played NHL 94 on the channel streaming, and I beat him in that. Since then, I don't think I've beaten him because, honestly, I am not a big fan of that game. But, you know, that's my opinion. Other people love it. And they have the right to love it. It's a good game. Can you talk like Tom again? I feel like I've been talking like Tom most of this time right now. I feel like my accent's coming out a little bit stronger than it usually is. But that was because I started pre-gaming at work. Went to Demon Tap for Industry Night on Sundays with some friends. And, yeah. Came back, started streaming. I'm only sipping on this one drink, but, you know. That's how it be sometimes. Alright. Yeah, but anyway. I'll be Donkey Kong Jr. I did say I'd play a doubles tournament, so let's do it. I think we established what the other play modes are, kind of. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, they just gave me a partner. I didn't even get the pick. So I get Donkey Kong, which I'm fine with. I mean, it makes sense. Em says, you know Tom is going to get mad at you tomorrow. Well, we'll see if he actually watches the video. I mean, whenever I've made... Not whenever, but when he does hear me make these bold claims on streams, he will text me the next day and be like, Matt, I can beat you at whatever game you say that you can beat me at. That was not really my good Tom impression right there. Grex, you can't beat me at Tecmo. I'll show you how good Tecmo is. Also, zombie dust on tap. I don't know. I'm just saying buzzwords right now. Got nothing interesting to add to that. But yeah, Mario Tennis is an interesting game because it is the only Mario sports game that has a continuation in the modern era. Mario Tennis Aces is the follow-up currently on Switch. And if you guys want to see more Mario sports games, you're going to have to buy that game to convince Nintendo to do it more. I have not personally purchased it. They have offered it up for free in a capacity on the Nintendo Plus service, or whatever the hell it's called. The online service. It was free for like a week or something. You got a trial of it. You play it, and then it wasn't free anymore, and then you had to buy it. So it was just like, let's get you hooked on this. Please buy our game. And, you know, I played it. I played it once as Chain Chomp because I thought that was fascinating that they made Chain Chomp a playable character. Enjoyed it, but not enough to purchase it. If I lived in a environment, or rather I had friends that came over all the time and wanted to play 4-player games, I would consider getting Mario Tennis Aces. But when it's mostly just me playing games by myself, I don't have a strong desire to want to play a tennis game by myself. But in the streaming capacity, it makes sense. But I'm not going to be streaming Mario Tennis Aces all the time, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see. What do you think about the PS5? I mean, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The PlayStation 5, I like that I know that there's the idea that's going to come out. For any system, it's all about what games I can play on it before I want to get it. The cool thing that has not been confirmed, but I saw in a patent that PlayStation had put out, is they have a PlayStation VR headset that is wireless, that is assumed to be for the PlayStation 5. And if you can give me a wireless VR experience on PlayStation 5, I would gladly purchase that if I have the money. So, that is my opinion on PlayStation 5, and until we learn more about it, I am not going to get excited, because honestly, there's so much that I haven't played that I want to play. I mean, my back catalog of stuff that I want to play is ridiculous, and freaking going back to the NES era, so there's games to be played. Adam says Nintendo Switch Luigi's Mansion 3. That was a really good game. I got it. It came out on Halloween. I got it the day it came out. I played the hell out of it for the week after it came out. I got to the final boss of the game, and I wasn't prepared to let the magic end there. So I started searching for all the booze in the house and all the treasures. And I got about halfway through the mansion, and I was just like, yeah, this is getting increasingly more difficult. I don't really feel like doing this right now. I stopped doing it. And I'm still sitting on the final boss and haven't beaten it since October, early November. So, yeah. Good game. Love it. Would recommend it to anybody that has previously liked the Luigi's Mansion game, or is looking just for a fun game to give them some smiles, some laughs, and looking for some interesting puzzles. Oh yeah. But how are you guys doing right now? It's 4 a.m. here in Chicago. I'm getting kind of tired. Running up on about an hour of this video, but you know what? This is a fun game. I could play this game without even thinking. I enjoy it. But I just wonder how enjoyable it is on the other end. Take it easy, Jamie. Thank you for popping in. I hope you have a good day out there in England. Adam says, I like the Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4. You know, I saw that when it was announced at the E3 that it was announced at. Was really excited about it. I'm like, this is a guarantee buy for me. Just looks like a fantastic game. When it actually came down to it, I don't think I had the money. And I've heard great rave reviews about it. and I just have not picked it up since that. I like Spider-Man. I think he's a cool superhero. Would love to play as him, but honestly, the like for him is not enough for me to just be like, this is an instant buy for me. I personally am more interested in like Nintendo characters, which should obviously make sense. And yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Oh, weird. Toad's name is like Knippo or something. It's always interesting when they put the Japanese names in Roman characters, because usually you're gonna see it in like katakana, which katakana is like putting it's basically just their alphabet, but if you don't know their alphabet, you can't really recognize that what the name is. So I'd like to know what the actual name is. Like, for example, in the Japanese version of Smash Brothers, Jigglypuff's name is Purin, but they use a Romaji for that. So, oh shit, I wasn't playing. Oh, slamming it in there. Adam says, what if Tom shows up at your place and says, you can beat me at football games? That time I just kind of sounded like Stallone. Hey, yo, Adrian, you think you could beat me at football games? Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I'm going to see him tomorrow, so I don't think he would roll over, wake up, show up to my house, and then just challenge me on the spot. I'll see him at Demon Tap. I'll take him one-on-one. If you, Adam, let him know that I was saying that I could beat him, I'm sure he would gladly accept the challenge on stream to beat him at, I don't know, let's say Tecmo or Blitz. Blitz would probably be the more interesting game for me to beat him in. So if you could tell him that I can beat him at Blitz, he would gladly accept that challenge. I do imagine if he showed up to my house, he would grab like a steel chair from nowhere, slam me in the back of the head with the steel chair, take over the mic and be like, "Lumberjack Cracks, you think you could beat me at football games? Well, look at you now, bloody and defeated from a steel chair." And I'll be like, I'm dead. I don't know. That's the amount of improv I can give you right now. Shit! Alright. I am fucking doing terrible all of a sudden. Oh, I think we're in like the deciding match. I forget what it's called, but they're up 4-1 right now. So we're in like a tiebreaker. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called tiebreaker. It's like the overtime equivalent for tennis. And for some reason they dropped their weird 15 points, 10 points rule. Deuce, advantage, deuce. Deuce, advantage, deuce, advantage, deuce, win. Oh my god, I keep driving into the net. This tiebreak is going on forever. If I'm gonna come back in this tiebreak, we're gonna have to score a lot of fucking points. There you go, Donkey Schlong. Good job. I think Tom already knows. He might be watching you. If he were watching me, he would have already commented. I know him. He's always prepared to defend his honor or his skill. I, for one, am okay with just lurking in the background. Definitely watched live streams and not said anything. Come on, Donkey Kong, save us. Oh, that was my fault. Alright, I guess we're going to 7. Can we deuce and tiebreaker? Come on, Donkey Kong. Oof. Alright, all tied up. Let's see if we can move on. Donkey Kong serving. And I took the advantage. I guess we do go. Oh, fuck. Good job. I'm taking this one. I don't think he's going to do it for me right now, so I'm going to... Oh, fuck. I ruined it for us. Come on, Donkey. DK. Donkey Kong. Oh, man. I just should leave it up to him. He's doing great. We did it. We did it. Adam says, but when you say Tecmo Bowl, that was too far. Nah, I could beat him in Tecmo Bowl. I mean, Tecmo is Tecmo, and sometimes you could just beat the people that are better than you. I still have never beaten Mort. I've definitely beaten DPS. But you know, I feel like the win for Mort is due up. I would love to play him tomorrow to see if I could beat him. It's an interesting question, Pat. I'm just gonna, you know, there's a lot of predetermined feelings about that. I prefer not to use labels, you know? So I'm just not gonna give an answer on that. I know if you asked that question to my brother, he would say yes. But I'm not gonna give you an answer. So you can leave that up to whatever you think. Wow, that was the only the first round. Oh, jeez. Does anybody really want to see this much of Mario Tennis? Why is Paratroopa paired up with Peach? And like, I get my obvious pair, but Paratroopa with Peach? I don't really get it. Oh boy. Shit. Ugh. Man, I really wish I would have just lost the last game now. I thought I was in the semifinals and I was going to be moving on to the finals after this. Nope. Does anybody out there have interest in me continuing to play this game? If you do, let me know. If you guys would rather see me play Super Smash Bros. 64, Pokemon Stadium, or Mario Kart, I am willing to do that. Just let me know, and I will switch on the drop of a hat. And I will grab one more cider from the fridge. If not, you know, whatever. I mean, I'll continue this until I'm in a end state. Then I'll go to bed. Paratrooper's trying to get sexy with that serve. Gets caught up in a fault. Oh my god. Peach, chill. Her squeals are high pitched right now. Adam's saying Super Smash Brothers. Pat says, I hear you on not wanting an answer since people have strong opinions on it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just one of those things, if, you know, it's one way or the other. There's just many jokes that are made and things that have been heard a million times. And also, there's just the predetermined notion behind what people think about it. And, you know what? Everybody's perspective is valid in some shape or form, because there's a reason why people think the things that they do, and until proven otherwise, they're allowed to think them. Because even if your opinion is super garbage and shitty, there's a reason why you thought it. And, you know, sometimes you can't really be blamed for your ignorance. I'm not saying... Also, I realize that what I'm saying could say that, you know, the answer to that question is yes. I'm also not saying yes. I just have a very equal opinion on how you should look at judging people's opinions in general. As long as you're not trying to offend other people and ruin other people's fun, I feel like your opinions are okay, even if they are complete shit. But as soon as you start offending other people, or purposely offending other people, or trying to take fun away from somebody else, or happiness rather, you should no longer be doing that. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I might just be rambling, but that's what I will definitively say on that. I guess maybe that's not definitive. Whatever. I am trying to look down at the chat, but this fucking volley is going on forever. Good, I ruined it. Hobo Sucks says, this is one of my absolute favorite sports games. All opinions and arguments had thought put into them regardless if they turn out to be factual or not. Pat says, sounds like a relevant answer for your other channel. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I understand why people say certain things, and some jokes I'll read here in the comments, I'll laugh at, or like giggle at, or just be like, oh geez, and kind of shake off. And when they're not actually directed at anybody, not really offending anyone, you know, I could just be like, okay, that's fine, you know, you said that. And as long as nobody's like, oh god, why'd you say that, you've ruined my life, I'll let it slide. But when you start attacking somebody, rough, it's rough, should not happen. Hobo Sucks says, I also love to see my little friend Donkey Kong Jr. Miss you, DK Jr. Yeah, I mean, The reason why I'm playing this doubles tournament is I'm giving him his send-off. This is his final game. And Waluigi's first appearance. So you can almost say that Waluigi killed Donkey Kong Jr. Or rather, Camelot created a new Nintendo character and also gave love to a character that was dying. And honestly, at this point, he is technically dead in the canon because Donkey Kong Country unwrites his existence, which Donkey Kong Country came out in, I think it's 96 or 95. Yeah, but Donkey Kong Jr. turned into the Donkey Kong that's behind him right now. So it doesn't really make sense that these two are on the court together. But as I said earlier in the video, it doesn't really make sense that Baby Mario can be standing next to Mario. So yeah, very similar situation there. What sucks is I prefer the latter. I'm assuming you prefer Donkey Kong Jr. is what you're saying. I know Adam said play Super Smash Brothers, but I'm now suddenly determined to at least finish this game, and if I win this game and move on to the semifinals, I will continue playing that. And then, just because I had promised it, I will play Super Smash Brothers at the end of the stream. If not for a little bit. Just, you know. I was kind of thinking on the Lumberjack Cracks channel to, on Tuesday, do a Smash Brothers Ultimate stream where I could potentially play against people in the audience. But we'll come to that when it actually happens. But yeah, I would like to play some Smash Ultimate on the Lumberjack Cracks channel, so yeah. Come on, DK, put it home. Man, they just keep volleying back and forth then. Reduced. Alright. Finally polished off the rest of that one. And when the computer serves, I don't have a chance to read the chat. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I could look away when Donkey Kong's in a volley with them, but then I end up playing and I do that shit, and I keep hitting the net. Wosek says, Baby Mario appears alongside grown-up Mario. Spin-off games don't count, which is why I think Donkey Kong Jr. can appear in more spin-offs. I mean, you're not wrong. And also, there's reason why Waluigi should not be a playable fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because he only appears in spin-off games. He's never even appeared in a Wario game, so clearly not important to Nintendo. Adam says, Tom be like, hey LJC, give me a beer. It's true. He'll do that. Go up to the bar and get me a beer. Just tell him to put it on my tab. Man, they just keep cycling with Donkey Kong. And then I fucking hit the net. Hobo Sucks says, Smash is a spin-off game. I mean, you say that. You say that, but honestly, it is such a system seller at this point that I feel like it's a mainline game. I feel like characters that truly matter belong in that game. Waluigi does not matter. I'm just trying to create this Waluigi hate so that somebody at some point eventually argues with me. He could easily just rep the spin-off games and keep his moveset. I mean, like I could imagine what he does. His assist trophy comes out with a tennis racket. I mean, it recognizes his origin point within the assist trophy that he has. But really, do I want to pay money to play as Waluigi? No, I don't want to pay money to play as Waluigi. If he came out as DLC, I would be pissed. I would be okay with him just coming up in the main game. Like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not going to pay money to play as him. I would rather pay money to play as any third-party character from any game than him. It's just, at this point, it doesn't seem worth it to put Waluigi in the game. I would rather see... I mean, so like a third-party character that already has representation, I would like to see Tails over him, or Knuckles. Like something like that. Someone that I feel like actually has some value in video game history. Waluigi does not have any value in video game history. Adam says, did you know that there's a yellow Ninja Turtle? I didn't know there was a yellow one. There was a female one in that one Fox cartoon. Hobo Sucks says, remember, I'm a Wario guy, so this is sort of a cut. I actually honestly wasn't paying attention to your avatar when I started this rant. But yeah, I can see you saying that. And then Hobo says, don't pay the money as others. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I would do. I did do that in Smash Wii U when Corrin came out, the Fire Emblem character. I didn't play Fire Emblem at that point. Didn't care about that character. Saw that was the last character they were going to put out, and I mean, I was like, oh, Bayonetta, awesome. Still haven't played that game yet. Think it's a cool character. Would love to see more of it. Bought it. That character, I'm like, oh, just more Fire Emblem. Don't really care. Smash Ultimate came out. This last fighter that came out was Byleth, Fire Emblem character. I played Three Houses. I loved Three Houses. It was the first Fire Emblem game I played. Fantastic game. I saw Byleth pop up. I'm like, I'm not blown away, but you know what? I like this character. I'm going to buy it. I bought the character. Think it was a great choice. Fire Emblem does have a lot of characters in the game, but you know what? It also has a lot of games. There's like a ridiculous amount of Fire Emblem games, and it is a huge part of Nintendo's history. And a lot of them haven't even come out here. Hobo Sucks says, I bet you're a Kiddy Kong hater. I don't really have strong opinions towards Kiddy Kong. I like the Donkey Kong Country games. Don't really have any hate towards them whatsoever. I've heard people talk shit about the Donkey Kong Country games. I think it's one of the games that I think Rare did right. I have no problem with it. I think it was cool that you have to play as Kiddy Kong and Dixie in the third game. Totally fine with me. I prefer the Donkey Kong Diddy Kong duo and the original Donkey Kong Country, but that was the first one I played, so you know, you just have the nostalgia at that point, I think. But Diddy Kong was always my favorite in the Donkey Kong Country series. Donkey Kong Country 2 has Dixie Kong. Dixie Kong's a really cool character. Yeah, so I mean, Kiddy Kong is not the coolest character out of the Kongs that is playable in Donkey Kong Country, but I have no hate towards him. No malice whatsoever. Do I think he belongs in Smash? No. I think Dixie Kong belongs in Smash before him. But, you know, I think Donkey Kong Jr. belongs in Smash before Kiddy Kong. But I think a lot of people would agree with that opinion, so let's read more. Adam says Sonic is better than Mario. You just love bringing that point up, which is just like, it's clearly wrong. I mean, the reason that it's clearly wrong is obviously Nintendo won this war of video game consoles. Sega does not make video game consoles anymore. Nintendo still does. Nintendo still sells games way more than Sega. I mean, the proof is in what the consumer buys. Donkey Kong. Bayonetta is good jerk-off material. I mean, the concept itself, you know, it sounds like it is. Hair is clothes. You need hair to do magic powers. Of course. Sorry, I'm gonna try to win. Okay. Seems like the computer might be getting stuck in like cycles. So if I repeat the same action over and over again. Since it's in Japanese, I might not have noticed what difficulty I picked. So I might be playing on the easiest difficulty. Just gonna out myself on that, you know, an hour and 20 minutes into the video. But like, look at this. Donkey Kong and Paratrooper are just going over and over and over again through the same moves. I stopped paying attention and barely caught the ball at that last second. Donkey Kong, just put it away, please. And I stepped away too far. Pat says Donkey Kong Country 3 is the best of the bunch. The lizards with the Donkey Kong coins is hilarious. I honestly haven't played much of Donkey Kong Country 3. I played the most of the first one, like I said, nostalgia, blah blah blah. Played the second one a little bit, and I played the third one a little bit. But yeah, it's a good game. I mean, by the third iteration of a game, you should understand how to make it and make it be fun, and you know. Hobo Suck says Donkey Kong Jr. could be a weaker but faster echo for DK. Yeah, I mean, I could see that being a thing. He would also have to be smaller, but you know, they'd just be resizing him. But it would be cool. Hobo Suck says, I also love the music in this game. Downloaded the whole soundtrack album. Yeah, I've been noticing that. I don't have the volume up too loud for this game because I don't want it to bleed over into the mic, but the music is actually good from what I'm hearing. We're going on to play Boo and Mario. Oh, wow. In the championship. So, after whatever is decided in this tournament, I will stop playing Mario Tennis, and I'm going to pop Mario. I'm going to pop in Super Smash Bros. 64 just to round out the rest of the stream. Oh, wow. It's 4:30. Maybe I won't do that. We'll see what happens. Pat says, and great puzzles. Donkey Kong Country 3. Yeah, I mean, I could see that being true. Oh, shit, I ran out of my cider. You know what, I'm going to go grab a drink real quick. So. And I'm back. Hobosex said, I didn't realize you were Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. With that being said, are you guys okay with the idea of me just ending playing Mario Tennis and switching to Smash Bros. 64? Because I'm totally fine with that. I will give you guys about 30 seconds to decide that. If you have a strong opinion on it, let me know. If one of you says no, I'll keep playing this and finish out the tournament. And if one of you says yes and no one says no, we're going to switch. Switch to a Irish cider called Magners. It's one of the first ciders that I had. It's a lot sweeter than the stuff that I actually drink now. But it's there. And it's there to drink. So just waiting on your guys' opinion about playing Smash Brothers instead of this final tournament. Hobosex says, I don't care much. Gotta download a song anyway. Adam just says, I want to shout out to my boy Luigi. Right there. Right there. In the background. Also Squirtle. And then a vague amount of Pikachu. But anyway. Play the last game, Adam says. Alright. We will go through it then. Let's get through this tournament. It's a best of 3 set. Donkey Kong starting it strong. You gotta play 3 sets in this championship match. That was one of the reasons why I was trying to get out of playing this, because I think we gotta win 2 sets. Donkey Kong blasts it in the boo. Yeah, he's beasted. Great. Moving on. And an ace serve from Boo. Shit. I just noticed on the faults the bombs blow up. It's kind of funny. Their whole purpose in life is to watch a ball go over a line and then explode if something's wrong. No! Blasphemy! No pun intended. Adam says, do you like the Rayman games? So I don't have a lot of experience with the Rayman games. I have played the original in the past. I think it's a cool game. I played Rayman Origins, the multiplayer one for the Xbox 360 PS3. Good game. I think they actually put it out on Switch recently. I didn't play a lot of it, but you know, I enjoyed it. It doesn't stand out as like the amazing game. Oh, another point, a thing to point out, the Japanese name for Boo, I think, is Teresa, and I think that's because it is based on one of the wives of somebody or whoever came up with Boo, and it's based on the idea that she's shy, so that's why she covers her face when Mario's looking at Boo. So yeah, just one of those weird naming things. I'm pretty sure by now, actually I don't even know by now if they had changed that for the Japanese name. We definitely just call it Boo over here. Teresa sounds pretty creepy. Boo sounds cute. Just every time I place a ball into the court, it goes right towards one of them. There we go. Finally saw an angle where it made sense. Took advantage of it. I'm trying my hardest to be the best I can just so I can end this and switch to Smash. There we go. Plowing through it. Adam says, go Sonic. I wish I had a Sonic game I could play on the 64, but unfortunately, Sega at the time thought they could make a 3D Sonic game, and then no 3D Sonic game ever came out on the Saturn. And then inevitably the Saturn failed because they didn't know how to make Sonic be 3D, because you know what? He was never good in 3D. Never. Even in those adventure games that I love. Adventure. I love Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 1. Great games from a nostalgic standpoint. From reality, not great. Tom, my brother, the retro sports gamer, had said on one of the streams that he was interested in playing the original Sonic Adventure with me on my channel. So I'm going to try to make that happen with him. We're not going to play the original one on Dreamcast unless he has it. We will probably play the one on PC, because I do have that, because I got a Humble Bundle with basically all the Sonic games on it. Or all the 3D ones, because they don't really have value, so it's like $10 for like literally every 3D Sonic game except like Colors, I think. And the weird sword one. You don't know what I'm talking about. There's a Sonic game where Sonic has a fucking sword. And it's like about knights and shit. Some weird Wii shit. Never played it, but yeah. Come on. Stop this madness. See, this is why they added power-ups in the later games. Then you do those damn, like, anime intros every time you use a power-up. This volley is going on forever. We could be done with this already. I feel like we're just never gonna win this volley. Alright, maybe if I can coax them onto the same side and take a quick angle. Yes! There we go. Hobosex says Wario, Donkey Kong Jr., and Boo are some of my absolute favorite Mario characters. Yeah, I mean, they're all cool. I dig them as well. My favorite character on the screen right now is probably Boo. Just a very cool design. I've always been interested in horror video games, and I think Boo fits that very well. I think it'd be interesting to explore an even creepier version of Luigi's Mansion, where Boo is creepier. In Luigi's Mansion 3, the Boos are, other than, you know, like King Boo, are a little bit disappointing. They show up on like every floor and you have to defeat one. But honestly, they're not really that hard to beat. That's the disappointing part about it. It's like a little variation on the battle that you do with normal ghosts, but not huge. I feel like Donkey Kong Jr. just doesn't have a lot of control, because like I'm holding the stick all the way off to the side, so I'm trying to shoot at the line and it just hits it straight back at Boo. So maybe that's what the problem is that I'm getting into. Hobo Suck says, I remember that Sonic game. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you do remember that. It is a game that I should probably play, just because it is an interesting relic. That, why did it get made? I might actually watch videos on that when I'm going to bed tonight, instead of watching Star Trek The Next Generation, which I recommend for anybody that likes sci-fi. I've heard good things about it for a very long time, and I had been meaning to watch it for, you know, like 10 plus years. And it finally found the motivation to watch it. God, well, we're in a tie break. Fuck. Is this only the first set, too? Oh my god, what time is it? It's almost 5. You know what? Whoever wins this, wins this. I'm not playing any further in the sets. Especially if I'm gonna pop smashing. If you guys don't want me to pop smashing, I'll also do that and finish the set. Or I'll finish the rest of this tournament without just calling it. Hobo Suck says, you know, Wario's first voice actor spoke German, for example. So I missed. Oh, though I missed. Speculated, however, in this game, Charles' current VA voiceover says, "Otten swing his racket." Weird. I did not know that. So is this the first time that Wario was voiced? Is he speaking German right now in Japanese, in this Japanese version of the game? Definitely sounds like Wario when he said yeah to hit the ball. I mean, definitely Wario of this era anyway. I'm just hearing wahs when he's swinging right now. Oh, off my face. Oh. There we go, finally. I mean, I'd believe you. I'm just not hearing it. God. It's almost 5 in the morning here. Definitely gonna have to call it quits soon. Not hearing any responses on not ending this. I'm also not hearing any responses on they want to see Smash. So, I probably will just, No, he was first voiced by Charles ages ago in some early N64 games. Japanese version of Mario Kart 64, Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, Mario Kart Super Circuit. Tom Splendor did the Wario voices. I didn't know that. I always just assumed that it was Charles Martinet. I did notice that Wario's voice did kind of change, but I didn't really know that it was a different person. I mean, Wario's voice is not really that hard to do. So Charles Martinet, being a professional voice actor, could easily create his own rendition of that. I do like Wario's voice as it has always appeared. Tom Splendor was a German employee at Nintendo, as Wario was going to be German. That's interesting. Just kind of playing on Mario being Italian. Can understand why they shied away from the idea of him being German, considering that Wario's name just means Bad Mario as a pun in Japanese. I'm just gonna have to step in front of Donkey Kong and stop letting him hit the ball, because... Alright, we won the set. I honestly think I could beat them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this this Mario Tennis run. So this is our play out of Donkey Kong Jr. His final appearance in a Nintendo game. Thank you, Donkey Kong Jr. for your years of service. But, you know, as suggested by the audience, we're gonna play Super Smash Brothers just real quick on the N64, also in Japanese, because I bought this version because it's cheaper. My original version that I think I might have gotten for my birthday when I was younger, my brother has. And, you know, in the divorce, I let him have it. So, I decided to buy the Japanese version of this game, which I think I got for like 26 bucks, when the original version goes for around like 50 to 60. It's crazy. So, if you're looking for this game, just get it in Japanese. Same game. Well, what we'll do to honor Donkey Kong Jr., we're gonna play through classic mode with Donkey Kong. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here. Maybe I'll beat it, maybe I won't. Whenever I die and the stream is over. Link is a chump. Playing on normal. He probably won't have a chance against me. So recently I had played, I think the last Lumberjack Cracks I did was the Harry Potter Quidditch episode that I played with my girlfriend, Alicia. And I had her play this game later in that stream. And I wanted to see how far of the computer level she could defeat. And so I started at 1, and I kept increasing the difficulty. Because she's not really a gamer. She didn't really start playing video games all that much until she started dating me. And so I wanted to see how good the computer actually was in these games. And she was able, to my surprise, she was actually able to get all the way up to level 9 and beat the computer on level 9, which, you know, even when I was a kid, I had a hard time doing. So, she impressed me that day. It's very cool. Very cool. Hobosex says, I'm not trying to brag or go overboard with information. I'm just very into the Mario franchise and know a lot about it. Oh, I do not interpret what you're doing as trying to brag or whatever. I appreciate the information that you're giving. I mean, I spend so much of my personal time just listening to video game podcasts just for kind of information like that. So the fact that you're just giving it to me while I'm trying to stream, love it. Give me more of your facts if you want to give them. But we don't have all that much left on this stream. But Hobosuck, if you're not already subscribed to the Lumberjack Cracks channel, please do that. I played through all of Mario 64 up to defeating the final Bowser. And I still need to collect 50 more stars to get to 120 stars in that game. It might be a while until I actually get around to doing that. But I will do it eventually. We're currently going through Zelda the Wind Waker. And that's been pretty fun, and also way more challenging than I was expecting it to be. Trying to figure out how to do puzzles and wander through a Zelda dungeon. And try to do things in a timely manner based off of streaming. Adam says, may I ask how you met her? I met her at work. We both worked together for probably like 6 or 7 months before we started dating. Just happens. Hobosuck says, I'm not super into live streams, but you guys play some games I like. I love Tecmo Super Bowl NES Hack. Great. I mean, even if you're not interested in watching me live stream a game, it is always appreciated, probably by any YouTuber, just to click the subscribe button to literally just create the number to go up. Because the way that YouTube works, you need to get it to 1,000 subscribers, which this channel's already hit. If you get to 1,000 subscribers, you can finally be monetized. And it'll be a long trek for the Lumberjack Cracks channel to actually get there. And so, you know, any subscription, even if you're not going to watch, would be appreciated. My gratitude would be given to you. We'll always follow up a subscription with another subscription too, if you're looking for that. Enough with shilling myself for my other channel. Oh yeah, take that, Fox. Alright. So which Tecmo Super Bowl NES hacks do you like? I in the past have created my own hacks. I was actually working on a hack that I didn't complete where it turned every player into Mario, and it turned the ball into a Yoshi egg. I had half of the animations completed where they were all Mario still. And then I think I lost the progress of what I was doing, so I just never went back to redo it, because I spent probably, I mean, I probably only spent like at the most like 3 hours on it. And yeah, I just didn't go back to it. But I've also created my own hacks with the ROM editor that was created. Just creating fantasy teams of Tecmo players that I wanted. It was cool. And I've also played, you know, like the modern rosters. The one that I haven't experienced that I would like to is the street one. Apparently you can play 4 players. And it turns the field into a street by turning the field black. It's cool. The other live stream channel is just called Lumberjack Cracks. If you look down here, under Matt, it says Lumberjack Cracks. If you just type that into YouTube, you should be able to find it. I usually put a link to it in the description below, which would have been a lot easier. But, I forgot to do that this time. But this was kind of an impromptu stream, so, you know, it just happens. But yeah, if you subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. If you don't worry about it. It's not a huge deal. Just any support is always good support. It is kind of funny though that I thought about changing the overlay to say subscribe to my other channel, and I forgot to put the link in the description. But you know, whatever. Hobo Suck says, the one I have on my portable Chinese console. Oh. What is that? Which hack, though? Is it the original that's just, like, on a Chinese console? Or is it like, a Chinese variation of the original? I'm very fascinated by this. Tell me more. Good job, Samus. Got knocked out right quick. I know I said I was going to stop when the lives ran out, but I don't feel like I'm ready to end yet, but I'm getting there. Alright, we cleared them this time. If you lose, try again with a link. The current Tecmo Super Bowl hack. Gotcha, so the 2021. I mean, that sounds cool. I haven't tried that one out yet. It's been a while since I have actually played one of the hacks. Just since I just have so much experience. Thank you a lot, Hobosuck. I appreciate it very, very much. But anyway, I just have a lot of experience playing the original, so it's hard to want to go to the newer versions because you start to get used to the players, and then if I enjoy doing that and I preferred it over the original, there's not really much of an audience to play against for those. So, but speaking of Tecmo and playing it kind of custom, I've been considering doing a Lumberjack Cracks late night with Lumberjack Cracks series on playing Tecmo Bowl Kickoff with creating my own team and adding, you know, the people that are on the channel and the users onto the team. I think that would be fun. I just wonder if there's any interest out there for me to do that. So if anybody's got an opinion about that, I would love to know. It's definitely one of those ideas that I had a long time ago and still haven't done. But, you know, I've been thinking about it more recently. Just trying to come up with things that I want to do with the Retro Sports Gamer channel. Eventually, I'm going to play NBA Showtime all the way through it, because that is my favorite sports game. That is a definitive statement. Adam says, Giant Donkey Kong. I used to love that stage. I mean, just the ideas in this game, I love. Kind of just want to fail board the platforms right now. Don't really want to bother with it. Hobosuck says, I feel like sports games get overlooked too much in pop culture / nerd community. I have a dude bro cousin, so I'm used to those sort of people. Well, the reason why it doesn't get looked, or like it gets overlooked all the time, is because inherently video games are a nerdy culture. And so typically nerds don't like sports. But the reality is that sports in general, like the actual sports, people that watch them, being a sports fan is inherently nerdy. Like you're paying attention to numbers, you're paying attention to your one team, you are always watching it, you're obsessed. And when you try to, you have to combine like two ideals. So sports fans, you know, you get caught up in the idea of like, oh, they're jocks, blah, blah, blah. But really, they're nerdy. But it's weird that the crossover between a nerd that is also into both is not as large as you would think it is. So I think that's why it gets overlooked all the time. I mean, even like video game journalists seem to be biased against sports games. There are a few video game journalists that I see, and usually they're from Europe when they like sports games, but Europeans tend to like soccer, they tend to like racing games, but don't really typically focus on, you know, like the more popular American sports. Or, you know, not more popular, but popular in America. Adam says, I agree with Tom about the NBA Showtime on Dreamcast. Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, if you play the game and you play the game on the actual arcade cabinet, it is literally an arcade perfect game. As far as I can tell, there's no difference. The only difference is when you play the arcade version, there are multiple versions of what the roster is going to be. And, you know, the Dreamcast, there's only one that came out for that. Hobosuck says, I don't play sports game, but I do enjoy some sports games. So I agree with you, Hobosuck. I don't actually necessarily like sports. I started streaming on this channel because my brother is really into sports and also really likes video games. So he also really likes sports video games, and that's what he wanted to focus on. And I also enjoy doing this, live streaming. I love sitting here, talking to people. I like creating video content for the internet. I think it's fun. So I will play through these games. But having an older brother that likes sports games, I did play a lot of sports games. The ones that I enjoyed the most were the ones that were fun video games. So arcade sports games is where I like them. So that's why my favorite sports game is NBA Showtime, which is a arcade sports game and is also a arcade sports game that has perfected the idea of playing basketball as a video game and is a fun video game. I like Tecmo Super Bowl because although at the time it was supposed to be a simulation game, it doesn't really feel like a sports game. It plays more like a sorry, I was reading the comment, but I want to get to that comment after I finish making this point. It feels like an arcade game because it takes out the rules that kind of bog down everything. It emphasizes playing the game quickly. The timer is a lot faster. What else? There is only a limited number of plays that you can make in the game, and the rules are simple, easy. It's pick up and play. And that's what an arcade game should do. So it's a fun video game. Other sports games, they try to simulate what the sport does. They give you way too many options. And ultimately, it just bogs down the experience. It takes way too long to play just one game. And it's just not really worth the time. But yeah, Hobosuck says, I count Mario sports game as actual sports games. I agree too, but with that being said, Mario sports games are meant to be fun. Like, they're supposed to take the experience of that sport, boil it down to its most fun iteration of it, or variation, and be approachable for anybody that wants to play it. So that's why those games are good. That's why they're fun. So when I say arcade sports games, what I'm meaning is games that are meant to be fun over trying to simulate what games are supposed to, or like simulate what a sport is actually supposed to be. So like playing a simulation sports game to me is like playing a flight simulator where you're just trying to pretend to be flying a plane from point A to point B, wherever in the world, which, you know, it has a lot of detail. It's really cool that you can fly throughout the world, blah, blah, blah. And then playing an arcade sports game is like playing, I don't know, like Star Fox or Ace Combat, where you're flying in the air and you're shooting down other airplanes. I mean, that's my comparison to those kind of things. Anyway, Holosuck says, yeah, that is the same with me. I like fun sports games. I mean, I'm glad you agree. And I'm also glad I'm not the only person out there that thinks that. My cousin, who I did a video with recently... Oh, actually, that was the last episode I did on Lumberjack Cracks. Late Night with Lumberjack Cracks. My cousin, JC Jones, we played, what was it called? All-Star Slamming D-Ball. played a lot like Super Dodgeball. He also is not a person that particularly likes sports, but usually like the arcade sports games that I enjoy, he also enjoys. So I mean, it's just about creating a fun experience for the player. There are people that do want that like excruciating detail of the sports experience, and those people are the same people that really like sports. And yeah, so that's my opinion on that. Popo Suck says, would you consider the NFL Blockbuster exclusive game as an actual sports game? NFL Blockbuster exclusive games? I don't know if I've actually played that one. Alright, I think I will play to finish against Master Hand, and then I'm going to call it. Metal Mario was always a cool enemy to me. In the later Smash games, they just turned these ideas, Giant Donkey Kong, Metal Mario, into items. That's an easy way to take care of them. Alright. We got 2 more stages left. Actually, I don't know what it said for race to the finish. It definitely didn't say race to the finish. I wish I was paying attention to that more. Adam says, poor Metal Mario. Well, he shouldn't have been so heavy. Donkey Kong has the perfect way to defeat him. Okay. Time to get through the gauntlet of fighters. Goodbye, Samus. Donkey Kong's gonna run away in this horrible, Oh, yeah, NFL Blitz Special Edition. I think another guy, probably your bro, has played it on this channel. I was watching him and talking to him. Nice guy. Yeah, so he is, you know, he's the actual person that is the retro sports gamer. He did play that on the channel. Yeah, that game is an arcade sports game. That game was made for the arcade, and it is made to be fun. So basically any of the sports games that Midway made is an arcade sports game. So NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time, NBA Showtime, NFL Blitz, Wayne Gretzky 3D Hockey, NHL Open Ice, all arcade sports games, NHL Hits, all great. I mean, there are some that are better than others. But yeah, those games are meant to be fun. They're meant to, in the arcade, they're meant to want you to put your quarter in, enjoy your experience, and put more money into the system. All great. NFL Blitz Special Edition looks very fun. So we, on the channel, we played, for the Retro Sports Gamer Championship, we played NFL Blitz, the original, on 64 for the tournament. And we also played, you know, Tecmo Super Bowl, NHL 94, NBA Jam on the Super Nintendo, and what was the last one? RBI Baseball on the NES. But all of those games, minus NHL 94, I would consider to be an arcade experience of the games. So they're more fun. NHL 94, I mean, it's kind of arcadey, but I still feel like it has a simulation feel to it. but it's arcadey in the way that it boils down the controls to a simple idea, and it sticks with that. But, you know, whatever. Off topic, do you enjoy Canadian Club and Dry? I'm not familiar with that. What is that? We're just gonna take out Fighting Polygon team like this. I forgot I could do this. Canadian Club whiskey with dry ginger ale, lemon, and lime slices. I mean, it sounds like something that I can enjoy. It sounds like a whiskey sour ginger ale. I'm not super huge on whiskey just because I've thrown up too much having whiskey, but I could definitely enjoy it. Demon Tap, the bar that we stream at every Monday night, which we will be streaming at tomorrow, they have a peanut butter and jelly drink there where they use peanut butter whiskey, and I had some of that peanut butter whiskey tonight, and just by itself, it's called Screwball, is just a phenomenal, I mean, it just like literally tastes like drinking peanut butter. It's just so good. Hobo says, I prefer rum to whiskey. I personally, it's gonna go for me vodka, gin, rum, then whiskey, and I absolutely cannot drink tequila. I can't really think of any other hard liquors off the top of my head right now. No! It's not what we wanted. Hobo Sucks says, I hate vodka. I mean, vodka for me is just like something that feels like it belongs in my body, but I think it's just, you know, my heritage. I like dark mixed drinks. I mean, if anything's mixed, I can enjoy it. It's just what it does to me the next day or while I'm drinking it is what changes the experience. So, if you can imagine what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, you know? Oh, yeah. Oh, beast on master hand, yo. Oh my god. It's funny how I keep coming back to this game in between streams, but it's just like a very convenient game for whenever I'm playing a 64 game for me to grab and stick in and not really do much to do it. But people like this game, you know? Hobo Suck says, I only drink mixed. I totally understand that. I mean, if I drink a liquor straight, it's usually a flavored liquor, which is not like drinking it straight. Or I'm taking a shot of something, which I usually have to chase with something else. Or it's like a drink that's supposed to be drank on its own. We almost got him. I would say Master Hand definitely got the best of me in this one. But unfortunately for him, I went out the war of attrition. He does not gain anything back when I die, so All right. Well, Hobo Sucks says, I live in Sydney, Australia. There's a video game like you play video games while drinking called Spawn Point. Pretty good name for a video game bar. They have real top cocktails. I mean, I feel like that's like part of the video game bar experience is like coming up with really cool cocktails that relate to the video games that you play inside of them. So that's really cool. If I ever go to Australia, I would love to go to that. Definitely something I would want to check out. But yeah, Demon Tap, the bar that we go to every Monday in Chicago, they have some very good cocktails. The one that I was mentioning earlier, it's called Peanut Butter Jelly Time, and it literally tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's just so good. They even make pizzas there too. So in Australia, do they put anything weird on the pizzas? I'm trying to remember. I know I've heard podcasts where they talk about them making hamburgers and they like put beets on them, which is not super weird considering I've eaten a burger that's made out of just beets. But like putting beets onto a meat burger sounds like an interesting thing. It's probably good, but I don't know. Hobo Sucks says, theme nights like cosplays. I am a cosplayer. I am a mild cosplayer. I've cosplayed a few times at anime conventions. The things that I've cosplayed in the past is I was Tifa from Final Fantasy VII in a gender bender version, so I was a male Tifa. Then I was 02 from Darling in the Franxx, a gender bender version, so it was a male version of that, like a casual outfit. So that was cool. And then I was Ash Ketchum. So those are the 3 cosplays I've done, minus, like Halloween costumes in the past. But yeah, cosplay is really fun. If I go to another convention, which I probably will in May, I'm going to come up with something to be. Hobo Sucks says, beetroot on burger is really good. Very sweet. I mean, it probably is good. Like I was saying, I've had beet burgers. Like burgers just made out of beets. And it's fantastic. It tastes great. But it's just interesting putting toppings that aren't traditionally put on burgers onto burgers. But anyway, it is now 5:21 a.m. here in Chicago. Hobo Suck says the hamburger with a lot is a Aussie classic. Beef, cheese, lettuce, caramelized onions, tomato, beetroot, juicy, not dry, bacon, egg, pineapple, and barbecue sauce. Wow. I mean, that is definitely a unique idea for a burger. But I mean, if I think about all those flavors, they sound like they would be good together. Have not seen all those things that you're mentioning paired together in a burger here. So, very fascinating. Very cool. It really goes well together. I mean, I can see it. Totally. I mean, I've had at least all of those ingredients in some shape or form in burgers. So I could imagine all of them together. But anywho, it is 5:22 a.m. here in Chicago. And in under 12 hours, I will be heading over to Demon Tap to do another long live stream. So I'm going to have to call it for tonight. This was a good impromptu stream for me. Final words on Mario Tennis 64. Definitely a very good game. Worth checking out. All the Mario sports games that I have played are very good. and I think they are worth a play. Australia also has a lime milkshake. Man, that sounds interesting. I would like to try that. Nice chatting. Cat's calling me anyway. It was very good chatting with you, Holosuck. I very much enjoyed it. I wish I could continue, but I really do need to go to bed, because in less than 12 hours I'll be heading to Demon Tap to be doing a more than like 8-hour stream. I mean, I won't be trying to entertain the chat the whole time, but you know what I mean. It's just more of doing it. But anyway, that's our welcoming party to Waluigi as a Nintendo character, and that's our send-off to Donkey Kong Jr. And you know, I think this game's great. Everybody should check it out. Definitely a good, strong start to the Mario Tennis series. But anyway, that's going to do it for me tonight. I will be back on this channel tomorrow at Demon Tap. Probably around like 5 or 6 o'clock we'll start streaming. All the way up until probably like 1 or 2 in the morning. So, take it easy. Thank you for watching. Ta-ta for now.